Black Clover is back, and man, did I miss this manga so damn much. If you don't know, Black Clover has shifted over to Jump Giga and is now a quarterly manga, as in there will be one new chapter, or in this case, 2 new chapters at least, every 4 months. The last chapter we got after the initial break and announcement that it was moving back in August was in December, and it focused on Luck and Magna taking down a Lucius clone. And now we finally got 2 really good chapters given to us by Tabata, and man, were these chapters hype as all hell. I don't know if I'll be doing more Black Clover content in the future, it depends how this video does, and whether or not this video gets copyright stricken by Shueisha, because Shueisha can be jerks about this whole thing. So let's see how this goes. But if you want me to cover Black Clover as the manga comes out and maybe do some stuff here and there for it, let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and ensures you guys enjoy the content I make on the channel and shows you want to see more. Black Clover is one of my favorite Jump manga right now, and I really can't wait to keep talking about it, so without further ado, let's jump right into the chapter. So let's start off with chapter 370 titled Demolition Charge, and we get a nice full color spread of the Black Bulls plus Yuno at a casino with the girls in bunny outfits. It's beautiful. Very beautiful. The cultured ones will know. Alright, jokes aside, let's move on with the actual content of the chapter. So in this chapter, we start things off with Asta facing off against Lucius's clones alongside Yuno, as he says which of us has the advantage now. As then, things start to shake up and multiple areas of the Clover Kingdom begin to rise up into the air, as everyone is beginning to panic and wonder what the heck is going on. Asta then explains that somebody awesome in the land of the sun, Ryu the Shogun, is saying that in order to make his ideals a reality, Lucius is planning to cast a super ultra huge spell up in the sky, as we get an awesome giant page panel showcasing all the pieces of the land of the Clover Kingdom rising up into the sky, as tree roots begin to stretch up high up into the sky to where we assume the actual Lucius is residing upon and looking down upon everything, as his clones and paladins and angels are wreaking havoc across the Clover Kingdom. As the magic knights of the Clover Kingdom end up looking up, even Rill is at awe of what he's seeing. William, facing off against a Lucius clone, states that he has to protect the kingdom, and Charlotte is still, while heavily injured on the ground, says that she mustn't die yet. Asta says that we have to get to his real body fast, as we get an image of Ryu saying that the pair who have a shot of defeating Lucius is Asta and Yuno. As the two of them declare and get ready to head out, 4 Lucius clones get in their way and knock them back, as the clone says, "You can't think we let you go." And Asta says, "Like I said," and then a black portal appears behind him as many familiar faces begin to jump out, as Finral states, "You always get ahead of yourself, Asta," as we get an awesome 2-page spread of Finral, Sakray, Charmy, and Zora jumping out of an anti-magic infused portal as they lunge over towards the Lucius clones to give Asta and Yuno a chance, as the Black Bulls state, "Leave this to us," as we move on to another set of 2-page spreads showcasing Ghost saving his sister and facing a Lucius clone with a bunch of mirrors at the ready, and Gray and Vanessa saving and having Noelle's back in her fight against her revived mother, facing off against a Lucius clone as the 2 of them are. As we get another 2-page spread, as we get Gordon facing off against a Lucius clone and actually using his curse magic to seemingly heal and revitalize William and Charlotte in their fight. And we also see, as we saw in the previous chapter, Noct and Ichika saving Yami and facing off against a Lucius clone and the revived Morgan. Having things off with one more 2-page spread, as everyone's saying, "You just go," with Luck and Magna cheering in the background as they used up their anti-magic and abilities, as Henry, with an anti-magic infused Black Bull's hideout, punches a Lucius clone square in the face, as we get another 2-page spread ending the chapter with Asta and Yuno facing off and bolting past the Lucius clones as they head off to find the real one, ending chapter 370. So in this relatively big chapter, we had not 1, not 2, 6 double-page spreads, either unbroken or with their own of panels, and man, it just really felt huge in like a big event as the Black Bulls all make their way onto the battlefield, saving various captains and even their own friends and squad mates like Noelle and people they care about, and facing off against Lucius clones with their anti-magic infused abilities. It is just so awesome, and it wasn't a Black Clover chapter. Things didn't fly by in an instant. And this chapter was obviously set up by Tabata to give us all the major players set up in the Clover Kingdom, and for Asta and Yuno to finally get the opportunity to head up and face off against the actual Lucius. And I didn't mention this earlier on, but when Lucius ended up bringing everything up into the sky, he did smile. And I wonder if he's expecting Asta and Yuno to show up, and maybe he has a plan in store to deal with them. But things don't end there, because we got a second chapter this month, and man, this next one is an action-packed one as well, giving us some awesome moments. So let's move on to chapter 371 of Black Clover, Indestructible Souls, as we cut back to Mereoleona facing off against the Paladin Morris as another one of her comrades and squad mates sacrifice themselves, deconstructed by Morris's magic. As they die, giving her a chance to get closer to Morris, saying, "The rest is in your hands, Lady Mereoleona." As Morris cackles to the death of Mereoleona's squad mates, as he then says, pulling out his grimoire, stating, "In that case, I'll show you some real living shields," with another 2-page spread showcasing Morris using earth magic to create the spell March of Holy Fools, with a bunch of horrific and seemingly angel-like aesthetic from Lucius's whole side, earth dolls and warriors fighting off and heading towards Mereoleona, as Mereoleona then uses her flame magic to break them up. And more of them still keep coming, and they also regenerate incredibly quickly, as this is definitely concerning for Mereoleona, as she is concerned now that Morris has decided to use the second magic attribute that Lucius gave him. Morris continues to cackle, spouting off his own ideology, how he identifies with Mereoleona sacrificing her men in order to reach the top. And we go on to an internal monologue of Morris describing his life and way of thinking, saying that the dimmer people are, the more they preach ethics and they rot away, unable to accomplish anything. In that case, they should become his research materials, serving as fuel for new magic, gives the bare minimum of meaning to the lives of these fools. However, no amount of piecing half-wits together let me overcome the world's natural laws. Even so, I preserved, and he didn't rot, and as a result, God chose me. He granted me magic which would let me tap into the knowledge and abilities fully, the power to destroy everything, and the power to create life. My days of hard work weren't wasted. So this really dives a bit into Morris, who, let's face it, none of us really like as a villain or a character, showcasing that he has a type of ideology. He wants to reach the top through his research, and views people that just preach platitudes tend to basically just fall to the wayside and end up rotting away, and he just wants to preserve himself and use whoever he can as research materials so he can climb his way to the top in a sense. No real moral compass, obviously, and he's a mad scientist, so it does make sense. Though, it still doesn't make him that deep of a character, in my opinion. I think that's the point. He's just a generic mad scientist that just wants to reach the heights of what he's capable of in his research and all that. But, moving on from Morris, Mereoleona is then attacked again by more of these soulless dolls, injuring her. Mereoleona tries to fight back, but then her body then begins to disintegrate, similar to how her body was doing in the fight against Lucifero, as her body began to break up. Morris continues to shout at her, saying how she's inferior, stating that she's hit her limits. Come surpass natural laws under Master Lucius and witness a perfect world, trying to tempt her to join their cause, essentially die and be revived as a paladin by Lucius or whatever. Mereoleona then gets a flashback as she thinks about her limits and her time in the past before she got her grimoire when she was a lot younger and still more so just fighting based off of her natural magical abilities without any spells. As she asks a bunch of people in the area to train with her, as they all just brush her aside and decline, stating that there's no point in fighting, she's too strong, this might just be entertainment with her, there's no way we can face off against a monster like her. As we dive into the loneliness and solitude that Mereoleona ends up going into in order to achieve her training and her strength. As she says that nobody could keep up with her, and so she thought it was alright if nobody tried. In the human world, she couldn't get any stronger, so maybe alone she could get even stronger that way. So she went into the harsh environments of magic regions, and even identified the walls of human limitations. She climbed those walls by fighting inhuman monsters such as Lucifero, the devils, and the demon god that she fought during the Triad arc. And she stated how she almost reached the top. But on her own, she couldn't go any further. But as she thinks this, hands reach over towards her back, as the image of the backs of her comrades stating, "Please train us, Lady Mereoleona," going us to another flashback, as she is facing off against multiple of the Crimson Lion members, as they keep telling her that they want to train with her, and her telling them that there's not much they can do, they should probably stop. But the commitment and the resolve that her squad mates end up going towards, saying that even if it's impossible, they want to try and match that strength of hers. As Mereoleona not only gets back up, but in another 2-page spread, Fuegoleon manages to appear, apologizing for the wait. As we cut back to where he left off with Salamander, as he destroyed all of the angels in the area, and even launches a huge barrage of flames to take out all those soulless puppets that Morris made with his earth magic. Now, before I move on even further, let's just say this. In this instance, yes, Fuegoleon was cool. Yes, he had a cool entrance. But he is not beating the fraud allegations, as in the last few chapters that we saw him fighting, he legitimately was getting his ass handed to him and struggling against angels. And not even a Lucius clone at that. So, him being the weaker of the captains now, it's still sticking. Even though I do think this entrance was relatively cool and it did give him a good moment, I do really feel like Tabata really should have given him a bit more of a edge in terms of fighting, a bit more of strength, considering that him and his sister have a bit of a rivalry going on, even though Mereoleona is obviously leagues stronger than the guy. But as we move on with the chapter, Mereoleona then laughs and says, "I wasn't waiting," as her grimoire opens, as she states, "I just got it now." As a new spell ends up activating, as she says, "I am constantly surpassing my limits," as a light shines forth from Mereoleona, breaking the ground as the remains of her men begin to be engulfed by flames, shocking Fuegoleon and dumbfounding Morris. In an amazing 2-page spread in the night sky, we see Mereoleona in flames, as behind her are all the men that sacrificed themselves in order to give her a chance to face Morris in blazing flames, as she used the new spell, Ultimate Flame Magic, Exelectus Leonum. And this looks amazing. Mereoleona literally brought her men back from the dead, resurrected them as flaming soldiers to aid her in her battle, giving them the chance to finally fight alongside her with all of their power. And this surprises Morris as well, and even her comrades, as they were pretty sure that they had died. Fuegoleon is shocked and also incredibly proud in this instance, looking at Mereoleona. With her comrades resurrected, Mereoleona tells them, "Don't think dying means you can take it easy. Even if you die, follow me, you fools," as everyone chants out "Yes, ma'am," as they all charge forward towards Morris and take on all of his seemingly endless soldiers, destroying them one by one, as Morris is having an eternal crisis as what the heck is going on. Her members were brought back? How is that even possible? As Mereoleona then lunges at Morris with the opening that she was given, she says, "What you're leading are soulless clods of dirt." As Morris says, "If I dismantle everyone here, you'll be finished." But as he reaches out to her, something happens. Those tendrils end up exploding, and he realizes something. His dismantle magic isn't working. And as he realizes, Mereoleona right now doesn't have a physical body anymore. She is completely transformed into mana. As Mereoleona says, the flames of resurrection transcending physical form. As Morris is just horrified and just insulted, as this is the territory, a realm that humans shouldn't be able to do. This is a realm surpassing natural gods. A human shouldn't be able to do this. But Mereoleona says, "The men who risked their lives taught me the ideal shape of the human soul," as she throws a fist, breaking through Morris' defenses, injuring him, as he is still trying to say that he was chosen by God and Mereoleona should not be this powerful and have access to this realm of power. But she says, "I don't care about your God. You get to be fuel for our evolution." As the final page is a 2-page spread of Mereoleona destroying Morris with incredible eternal fire, saying, "Couldn't ask for more, could you?" as she destroys Morris with her evolved power, ending the chapter. And once more, another quick and action-packed chapter of Black Clover. Mereoleona's character has continued to grow throughout the series since her introduction, showcasing that she isn't just some lone wolf in it for strength all for herself. She cares about the people around her. She wants to help and fight with those around her, make them stronger, as well as just live up to the expectations of others around her. This is also further given more weight from her moments in the Sword of the Wizard King movie, which, yes, is indeed canon. It was written by Tabata. He wanted it to be part of the main story, but ended up not doing it, so they made it into a movie instead, and it's in the 6-month time skip towards the end before the invasion of the Spade Kingdom. But yeah, Mereoleona continues to be one of the best characters in the series, and just more instances of her getting more depth, development, and exploration of her character, her ideals, and just her relationship with others is always great to see. And not only that, the previous chapter gave us the Black Bulls coming in clutch and getting set into position to take on Lucius' clones, and giving Asta and Yuno the chance to finally make it towards Lucius and face off against the final villain of the series. And the amount of double page spreads in these two chapters is insane. Tabata definitely went all out with these chapters, giving us what we needed, and I am just so happy that Black Clover was back, even for a limited time. I can't wait for August when we get the next chapter or two, and we're in for a long haul when it comes to Black Clover. And that's it. Honestly, I would love to make more Black Clover content for you guys. It depends how this video does and how things go with, you know, potential copyright shit with Shueisha, but hopefully that doesn't be a problem. And I would love to keep covering Black Clover, make a video here and there about characters, fights, etc. because I love this series, and if there's another series I would love to talk about on this channel, it would be Black Clover. But what did you guys think of this set of chapters? What was your favorite moment? What was your favorite double page spread? And are you excited for more of this great series? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really does help, and it showcases you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.